is a result of self-discovery, and it requires following one's conviction and not the popular opinion. It is not the pursuit of power, position, title, or authority. Leaders are considered as agents of change because they focus on pursuing a purpose and they work on inspiring and empowering others in the process. Good leaders do not believe in using manipulation, threats, or elements of force to get people to do what they want. And good leaders are constantly producing people to take their place. They do not seek followers, but people are attracted to their gifts. People are attracted to who they are, their ideals, how they think, and their plans for the future. In every man is an innate ability to be a leader. However, the requirements for becoming the leader or for becoming the kind of person that others would choose to follow would require that you work on your attitude, would require that you have a leadership mentality. It would require that you change your mindset to that of a leader. And this requires that do a lot of work on yourself. Is why there are people that are considered as leaders and others are followers. What are the traits that you would see in a person and be able to identify that person as a leader? One is vision. What vision does the person work with? What vision does the person have for themselves and for the people at large? Are they passionate about their vision? Are they passionate about what they want and where they are going? What is their purpose in life? What is their purpose for the people that are following them? What is their purpose for their lives? Do they believe in generational impact? Do they have a mindset of generational impact? Or are they there for their selfish purpose? To be considered a leader, you have to have principles. What are your principles? Are you a man of principle? Are you somebody that is easily identified as a principled person? Your conscience. Your conscience would always reflect in the things you say, in the things you do, in how you treat people. The conscience of a person is one of the characteristics that will be considered in identifying or labeling a person as a leader. Character. The kind of character you exhibit, the kind of character that the person exhibits in their daily life. And you would always see a form of consistency in this person's character, how they treat people, how they handle situations, how they respond to their environment, things that happen around them, people, how they respond to people around them. What are their standards? Do they have high standards? Do they set high standards? Do they live up to the standards that they have set for themselves or that, their environment have set for them? Humanity. Humanity is a leadership characteristics that we rarely demand, but is very important. When a person is humane, it means that the person always considers how their actions affect people. They think about how the decisions that they make impact the lives of other people. They care. They show empathy in their actions. They do not take their leadership position for granted. Sacrifice. Leaders would constantly make sacrifices for people. Principles of leadership is what we're going to be looking at next. Like I've said earlier, true leadership is inherent in every man. However, leadership cannot be taught, it must be discovered, which is why for any of us to choose to become a leader, because leadership is a responsibility, And so it would require that all of the requirements, all of the attributes of leadership, for some of them that we are not born with, we have to learn them. We have to change. We have to be able to change ourselves, change our beliefs, change sometimes our attitudes or our character to be able to cultivate the principles of leadership, to be able to cultivate the characteristics that is would usually be required of a leader. Leadership is based on a discovery of self. Like we've said before, a leader needs to be self aware. A leader needs to have self awareness. A leader needs to understand their strengths, their weaknesses, who they are as a person, where they are going, what their vision is for their future, and to be able to carry others along without necessarily applying force or threatening people. You need to be able to recreate yourself and recreate your dreams in others in such a way that they see and they understand your vision, your purpose, and they are willing to follow. True leadership is about serving your gifts to the world and not about expecting people to meet your every need or bow to your wishes. True leadership is also about self deployment, meaning that in being a leader, you also become a servant. You are a servant to the people, you are a servant to your followers. You are willing to deny yourself to make allowances for others. You are willing to make allowances for people. You are willing to offer help. You are willing to carry people even when you yourself are not very strong. Leadership also demands that you take risks from time to time, because if you do not take the risk, others will not be able to do that as well. People look to the leaders to take the risks. People look to the leaders to make the right decisions. And sometimes you may not know it all. You may not know that the decision you are about to take or the action that you are about to take will lead to the right results. But doing nothing at those points in time is also not an option. Leadership is about self exposure, meaning that the searchlights will always be on such a person. And so you should be willing to let people see your weaknesses, but also see your strengths, and be able to, in the case where it's your weaknesses that they see, be able to make corrections and come back from those mistakes and from those errors to doing better. Leadership qualities. One, a leader has to be a reader. A leader must constantly seek knowledge. A leader must constantly seek to know more, to do better, to grow, so that the people that are following them can also be able to do the same. A leader must not give excuses. Excuses are not permitted when you are a leader. It doesn't mean that you cannot fail. It doesn't mean that you cannot make mistakes, but you do not excuse your mistakes. You do not excuse your failings. You just make, an effort to do better. A leader must always have a finishing spirit. So you don't start a project and then stop along the way. You don't start a project and then give it up along the way, because what you are essentially doing is setting an example for others to follow. And so when you do not have a finishing spirit, it affects the people that are following you. A leader must be self motivated and must have a strong sense of self worth, because hardly would you as a leader find people encouraging you or wanting to build you up. Usually people take from leaders. And so if you are not self motivated as a leader, and you do not have a strong sense of self worth, in the course of time, in the course of life, self doubt can set in, and discouragement can set in. People can talk you down, and then you lose your purpose or your vision, you lose your why. And so it is very important that as a leader, you find motivation from inside. You find motivation from your vision, from your purpose, from who you are, rather than from the environment around you. Leaders do not quit. Leaders can take a break, leaders can rest, but leaders do not quit. And as a leader, you must have a mindset of excellence, particularly in the situation where your action or inaction can have national implications. You must have a mindset of excellence because that can translate into generational impact. The road to leadership is paved with challenges, which is why, as a leader, you must embark on a journey of self discovery. And self discovery is not a one off thing, it's not a one off journey. It's a constant journey, it's a constant action that you would need to take from time to time to understand why you got into this in the first place, to understand why you are doing this, to understand or remind yourself of where you are going, what you intend to achieve in whatever place or position that you find yourself. You must recognize your abilities as a leader. You must know what your weaknesses are, what your strengths are. You must know your why as a leader. You must know your why. You must know what it is that are your innate abilities and even build on those abilities. For the areas where you do not have a strong suit, it behoves of the leader to constantly build on their strengths, to constantly work on their weaknesses, to be open to change and to constantly learn new things. A leader must have a strong belief in themselves because the environment that you find yourself will always cause you to doubt yourself from time to time. Sometimes requirements are made of you that you did not even anticipate before finding yourself in that position. And so it is that belief in yourself that would be a foundation upon which you will constantly levitate, elevate, and make progress. A leader must have a deep conviction. We've said this before, because you cannot, as a leader, you cannot open up yourself to popular opinion. You cannot focus on or use everybody's opinion, whatever suggestions that comes at you. You must have a conviction of who you are, where you are going, what you intend to achieve. You must have a need for constant self improvement. Understand the word need. You must have a need for constant self improvement, meaning that you understand the fact that you don't know it all. You understand the fact that life is constantly changing. You must understand the fact that change is actually the only constant thing. And so you focus on improving yourself on a daily basis. A leader must be creative. A leader must be able to change courses of action when one plan is not working. A leader must be able to make adjustments, try new things, be innovative, be creative, be open to trying different options. And a leader must have a commitment to growth. A leader must have a desire to grow. A leader must have a desire even for their followers to grow. A leader must not always want to put their followers down while only they grow. You must have a commitment to growth for yourself and also for the people that are following you. And a leader must be disciplined. Being a leader is hard. Being a leader is a lot of work. Being a leader requires that you always put your best foot forward, meaning that you have to be disciplined at every point in time. There are certain questions that you need to ask yourself, or before you even decide that you are a leader or you are fit for a leadership position, you must always ask yourself these 5 questions. Who am I? This speaks to your identity. Who are you? Do you know who you are? There are people that cannot categorically say who they are. They don't know who they are. They don't know what their purpose in life is. They don't know why they are here. So, as a leader, you need to be able to know your identity, know who you are as a person. Where am I from? This speaks to your heritage. Who are your parents? Who are your forefathers? Who were they when they were here? What did they achieve? What is the foundation that they have laid on which you are now walking? You must understand your heritage. Why am I here? Why was I born? Why was I created? What was I created to do? What is my purpose in life? What am I supposed to achieve? What can I do? This is about destiny. What is my purpose in life? What is my assignment in life? Who do I want to be remembered as when I die? These are the questions leaders must ask themselves. Where am I going? You must know your potentials. You must know your strengths. You must know your weaknesses. You must know who you are. You must know why you are here. You must have a why. You must know where you are going. You must know what you intend to achieve, the impact you intend to create in life, or what you want to be known for even after you are gone. Attitude and leadership. To be a leader, your attitude is very important. Your attitude as a leader will determine if you are the kind of leader that builds people up or tears people down. All humans possess the ability to lead, like we've constantly reiterated. But the difference between leaders and followers is attitude. A leader has a type of attitude that makes them a leader. And these are the things we've talked about before now. The principles that you live by, the characteristics, your who you are, the characteristics that you display, the qualities that you display as a leader. These are the things that determine your attitude. And attitude is a product of belief. Leaders are born when there is a discovery of a belief system. They know who they are, they understand who they are, they understand where they are going, they understand what they want to achieve. Good leaders do not use manipulation or threats or oppression to get what they want. And for them, leadership is about becoming the best version of themselves. Leadership is not static. Leadership is about growth, is about consistency, is about attitude, is about constantly elevating yourself, constantly growing, and always wanting to carry people along. Being a servant, you choose to put yourself in a position where you help others. You help others to realize who they are. You want to recreate yourself in other people. You want to make other people better than yourselves. You want to leave other people better than you found them. Good leaders are constantly producing people to take their place. They are not just looking for followers. They are looking for people that they can make their lives better, people that they can pour themselves into. And again, the spirit of leadership refers to the person's attitude, it refers to mentality, it refers to mindset. As a leader, your attitude is everything. A leader should focus on building people up, not tearing people down. And in order to be able to do this, a leader must have worked on their mentality. Again, that goes back to self discovery, understanding who they are, what is required of them as a leader, understanding how they can, be of service to their community, to the people in their immediate environment, and to the world at large. And I would like to also say at this point in time that a lot of times we see situations where, as a father, as a brother, as a sister, as a mother, they do not display the attitude of leadership. But when they are outside of the home, then they become a different person. These are not the kind of people we're referring to when we're talking about leaders. Leadership should be a display of consistency, irrespective of whether you are in your private space or in the public. So it must be said of you that who you are and what you say is constant, irrespective of where you are or who the your audience is at any point in time. Who you are as a family man, does it dovetail, does it translate, does it transform into who you are in the workplace? Does it transform into who you are on the global stage? So when we talk about leadership, we're talking about a someone who in their totality embodies all the characteristics of a leader, all the qualities of leadership, all the principles of leadership. People who are willing to change, people who are willing to adjust their expectations, their requirements, who are willing to even change their belief system when that belief system is no longer serving the purpose for which they are doing what they are doing. Leadership is not a license to mistreat people. It is not a license to mislead people. Leadership is not a license to try to change who people are. Leadership is understanding that people have chosen to place their trust in you and that you are willing to be of service. You are willing to use what you have to make other people's lives better. Leadership is a journey of self-discovery, understanding who you are, having a vision, and that vision must be clear. Just like in setting goals, your vision must be clear, your vision must be specific, your vision must be measurable. The people that are following you must be able to relate to your vision statement. They must be able to relate with your core values. They must be able to relate with your mission statements. They must be able to work with you without being confused, without having, they must have clarity on your purpose. They must have clarity of your vision. They must have clarity on where you are going and what their role is in helping you achieve your vision. Your followers must see the passion that you have for your vision so that they are also able to key into that vision, not based on force, not based on threats, not based on, blind followership. They must be able to buy into the vision. They must be able to buy into your purpose. They must be able to buy into your mission statements and then follow you. And your vision must be the type of vision that has generational impact. So it is not about today, it is about laying a foundation for people that are coming after you. It is about laying a foundation or even fighting a battle so that the people that are coming after you do not have to fight the same battles. There are good leaders and there are bad leaders. And because leadership is innate in everybody, a lot of people feel like they were born to be leaders and so they have to be leaders. Or maybe their parents were leaders and they feel like it is they just have to follow in the footsteps of their parents to become leaders. However, leadership is a responsibility. Leadership is it's a big responsibility. And so it is important that before choosing to be a leader, you must understand what it means, what it requires, what leadership will take from you, and then decide if you are willing to commit to being a leader, you are willing to commit to serving people, you are willing to commit to making a difference. Leadership is about making a difference. We've had too many bad leaders in the past and even now. And that makes you realize that it is not just about being in a position of authority. What is important is what your plan is for that position. What is your plan for wanting to be in that position? How do you intend to use that opportunity, that plan, that office, that position? How do you intend to use it to make an impact? How do you intend to use it to affect the lives of other people in a positive way? The world needs good leaders. The world needs people that are willing to sacrifice themselves for the greater good. The world needs more of people that are willing to give of themselves just so that the situation of the country, the situation of the people around them, the situation of the world in general, if possible, is better. When you are a leader, it is no longer about yourself, it is no longer about your family. The world becomes your family, the community becomes your family, the people that you are governing becomes your family. And it is important that every action you take, every step you take, every decision that you make you must make those decisions consciously, knowing that the effect or the consequences of those decisions should be for the betterment of the people that you are serving and not the other way around. We've seen a lot of situations where they are entrusted with positions, but they are only there because they feel like it is their opportunity to make their own, to change their lives, to change the trajectory of their lineage. And they forget about the community around them. They forget about the electorate that have put them in that office. They forget about the people outside their immediate sphere of influence. They forget about their own names, what they want to be remembered as, how they want to be remembered. And we need this to change. We need better leaders. We need good leaders. We need a new crop of good leaders, a new crop of people who are willing to serve. So far, we have looked at what leadership means and the characteristics of leadership, why a leader must have a vision, why a leader must understand their purpose, why leadership must have generational impact. And we've also talked about the principles of leadership. and that leaders must at every point in time know their why. Why am I a leader? Why am I doing this? What is my intent? What do I hope to achieve? And I'm going to give a small example of my own leadership journey, because like I've said before, everybody can be a leader, and in any sphere of influence that we find ourselves, we're usually leaders or followers at any point in time. And so I remember when I started my career, I struggled a lot with being a leader or being a follower at any point in time, because I realized that when you put yourself in the position of a leader, there's a certain level of responsibility that is expected of you, which means that when you are in a team, you as a leader, you cannot be that person that gives excuses. You have to be the person that is able to be at the forefront, that is able to take responsibility for achieving a task, irrespective of what the challenges or the constraints may be. And I found out that in every team, you will always find people that are leaders and people that are followers, because there are some people that do not want to be held responsible for the failure of a task or for the failure of the team. They feel like they just always want to be at the back. They don't want to be the person that will have to stand up for the team, or that will have to explain why a task was not, fully concluded, or why you failed at a task. It is very important to always take every opportunity that you see, every opportunity that presents itself to you to be a leader. Take that opportunity, prepare yourself, because leadership will always come calling, and only a few will be able to take up the opportunity or the responsibility and succeed at it. The qualities of a leader, the requirements of a leader, the characteristics of a leader, all of these things that are not innate, that were not inborn, can be learned. And there are a lot of resources on BukkyNG that can be of help to you if you desire to be a leader, if you desire to grow to become a leader, if you desire to, if you have a desire to want to be a leader in the future, there are resources that are available that can help you to learn what leadership is about, to learn how to have a mindset of service, how to be a better person overall. And these resources are available online. They are available even on our own website, BukkyNG, and they will help you to be able to grow to the next level of whoever it is that you want to be in the future.